Hey everyone, Jake here for Extreme Terrain, and in this video we're taking a look at the Raxium Axial Series LED taillights with black housings and smoked lenses fitting 2021 and newer Broncos equipped with factory halogen taillights. If you're after cool, stealthy, good looks and more output as compared to your Broncos factory halogen taillights, these are definitely worth your attention. Featuring a unique style, much more output versus stock, and a really reasonable price tag, both your wallet and your Bronco will be happy if you snag a set of these. Now we're starting to see a lot of options out there for these Broncos, but if you're like me, you prefer something that's a bit more subtle. These Axial Series taillights from Raxium might just be the ticket. Now I'm a fan of these because they take some cues from the original Ford LED taillights, but they have their own twist. And the first thing you're probably going to notice are these dark smoked lenses. So even when these are off, they're going to make your Bronco look just that much more stealthy. These are also available with a clear lens if that's more your speed, but I'm a fan of these. Kind of harkens back to those 80s and 90s trucks with the taillight overlays that you get. But the smoked lens here doesn't cut the lighting output. The running lights on the outer edges have this neat 3D hourglass type of shape, and they're more angular than the factory style LEDs. Those elements light up a nice diffused red and gives your Bronco a pretty distinct look, especially in the dark. Now hitting the brakes or actuating the turn signals are going to illuminate more LED elements in the center and down on the very bottom. Again, definitely a unique setup here, and these of course are going to put out a lot more light than your factory halogens. And you get LED reverse lights as well, one on either side of each light, so when you're backing into that dark campsite, you're going to have a lot more visibility than you would with your factory setup. Now I feel like these could have been a factory option with the way they look and integrate as well, especially considering they're a fully plug and play installation, but we're going to talk about that more in a few moments. Now construction here is going to be your typical ABS plastic for the outer housings and a polycarbonate lens over top. Again, pretty much the standard for automotive lighting. These are of course weather sealed to help keep out dirt and moisture and keep it away from all the electronics inside. Since these are fully LED too, they're going to be much longer lasting than your standard incandescent bulbs, and they'll also be brighter, and that means that you don't have to worry about replacing them. They also come pre-wired with the connectors and the resistors already wired in, so you don't have to do any of that. You can just plug these in and enjoy. And they are DOT and SAE approved, meaning they are fully street legal too. Pricing for the set comes in at about $275, and that makes them a pretty affordable option. They're actually one of the most affordable fully LED options out there, so if you want that upgraded output and you want some good looks, especially with that smoked lens over top, it's a small price to pay. Installation gets an easy 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the whole job should take you around 45 minutes, maybe up to an hour to complete. Again, like I mentioned a few moments ago, these are fully plug and play, so there's no wiring, no other modifications necessary. You can just pop your old ones out, put these in their place, plug them in, and go and enjoy. And we're going to walk you through the process now, so for that, let's head on out to the shop.
For this install, you will need an impact, 7, 8, and 10 millimeter sockets, a clip removal tool, and a small pry tool. What's up guys, today we're going to be doing some taillights on our Bronco, so let's get started. Alright, so our first step is going to be to separate our rear section of our rear flare from the body of the vehicle so we can access our lower trim panel around our taillight. Now this is held in just by some turnstile clips. So what we're going to do is just pop those down. We want to do at least 2. And we can pull this away like so. And that just keeps us from having to deal with that while we get this trim panel off. Now we can remove this lower trim panel. Now this is just held in place by some push clips. So we're just going to pull this out like so. Then there's 2 more up front. So I need to pull this forward. Pop that out, and you can set that aside. Next, we're going to remove this inner trim piece. Now this is held on by 4 push clips along this side and then 2 10 millimeter screws. So we're going to remove the push clips first with our clip removal tool. Now this first one, pretty hidden up top. Get in there, work that out. Now we'll come down and get these 3. Now once you have all these out, you can get your 2 10 millimeter screws out with your 10 mil socket on your impact or ratchet. Try not to drop them. Then we're going to finagle this trim piece out. Kind of have to persuade it out of the top. Next, we can remove this trim panel that is held in by this 10mm screw at the bottom. So again, with our 10mm socket, pop that out. Now once you have your screw out, pop your trim panel out. Now we're going to remove the 10mm screw down on the outside and the two 8mm screws on the inside holding our taillight in. So we've got our 10mm socket, we'll get this one out first. Next we'll grab our 8mm socket and remove the two remaining screws. Now we can remove and unplug our taillight. Pop this out. Grab onto our connector, push down on our tab, unplug that, and we'll set this aside. Now once you have this side out, you can do the same thing for the other side. Alrighty guys, so now that we have our tail light out, we've got our new tail light set up on the table next to our factory one because we're going to be reusing the factory mounting bracket off of this one, so we'll need to swap that over. So we'll come to the back side of our factory tail light. This is held in by 4 7mm screws. So we'll grab our 7mm socket and pull those out. So we'll get these out. Now we're also going to need to remove the bulbs and sockets from the taillight. So we're just going to give them a quarter turn counterclockwise. Now once we've got our bulbs and sockets out, we're going to lift this up, set our taillight aside, and we're going to remove our factory harness. Just pop these out of their tabs. And we'll slide our connector up and off of its retainer. Now your bracket has a small tab on the back side that can be a little bit tricky to get off, so you can take a small pry tool, get in between that, wedge that up, and pop that out. Now we can get our bracket onto our new taillight. So we've got a piece of styrofoam down. This is going to protect our lens and housing. Flip this over, line up our bracket. You want to make sure that your harness can be secured. We'll run this through bottom. We'll line this up. We'll get all our mounting points lined up. Then we'll reinstall our 7mm screws. You want to get them all loosely in place before you tighten them down, just in case you need to move your bracket. And one thing to note, you are tightening into a plastic housing, so there's no need to go crazy with tightening it. Just snug them down and they'll be just fine. And then we'll secure our plug to our mounting bracket. Snap that into place. And once you have this side all set up, you can do the same thing for the other side, and we're ready to go onto the vehicle. Now we're ready to install our taillight, so we'll get it plugged in, just like factory. Make sure that snaps into place. Get this set in. Then we can reinstall our two 8mm screws. We'll bring back our 8mm socket. Now that we have these two in, we'll get our 10mm socket on the outside. Now we can get our upright trim panel back in place. Just line right up the locators. Snap that back in. We can reinstall our 10mm screw at the bottom. Next we'll get our lower trim panel back in place. Line that up. Get the front pushed in. this back into place. Once you have this set back in, we can reinstall our fender flare. So we'll just push that back into place and lock those tabs back in. Turn those. Now we'll get our inner trim back in place. May have to persuade the top back in a little bit. That line back up. This grommet up top does present a little bit of a struggle. Once you get that pop through though, should go right back in. Then we'll get our two 10mm screws back in place. And lastly, we can reinstall our 4 push clips. Don't forget this hidden one up top. Pop those back in. Now once you have this side all back in place, you can do the same thing for the other side. Alrighty guys, that about wraps up our review and install of our Raxium Axial Series LED taillights with black housings and smoke lenses for your 21 to current Bronco with factory halogen taillights. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Bronco, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.